Hi everybody, Angelica here, and today I'm gonna talk to you about the book Perfect Chemistry. Well, not really talk, I'm gonna do a book review about the book Perfect Chemistry. Let me just point this out right now. This is like the fucking hundredth time I've done this video, and every time I've had to redo it because I messed up, or I messed up the names, or like I get irritated with what I said or how the actions I use. So I'm trying to. So it's like the 10th try, and I don't really care if I fuck up on this one because if I do, I'm still uploading it. Okay? Okay. So in this book, we we read about the characters Alex and Brittany. The book alternates between Alex and Brittany throughout the whole book, and I think I really like that in a book where you can read what the guy's thinking, but and you can read what the girl's thinking instead of like a contemporary novel where it's usually just the girl's point of view. I like reading what Alex is thinking. I love being in his head. He's a very sexy. Ooh, sexy. That's the word to explain it. So I'm gonna read like the inside right here and what it's about, kinda. And there is really great wording in here about what the book's about, so that's why I'm kind of gonna do it like that. So I'm gonna read it now and tell you what it says. Okay. At Fairfield High School, on the outskirts of Chicago, everyone knows that the Southsiders and the Northsiders aren't exactly compatible elements. So when the head cheerleader, Brittany Ellis, and a gang member, Alex Fuentes, are forced to be lab partners in chemistry class, the results are bound to be explosive. Neither team is prepared for the most surprising chemical reaction of all: love. Can they break through the stereotypes and misconceptions that threaten to keep them apart? They travel to both sides of the tracks in a passionate love story about looking beneath the surface. Okay, let's do one thing right now. Look at that line right there, the end of the line, looking beneath the surface. I love that line. I literally love that line. The reason I really like it is because it tells you, like, it gives you the perspective, because in the book you get the perspective that Brittany's this perfect rich girl, when literally that's not how it is, and you get the perspective that Alex is this bad boy, hardcore guy, gang member, and that's not how it is at all either. Um, Alex, in the end, like Alex is really a genuine, nice person. Deep down, he doesn't want to be in a gang. He doesn't want to be involved at all, but he has to protect his family. And at family's first in Alex's book, it's all family. It's all that matters to him. And Brittany just built this reputation. She even says, "I worked my ass off for this reputation to be known as the perfect girl, the girl with the perfect relationship, with the perfect boyfriend, with the perfect life," and it's all complete bullshit for both of them, for both sides. Their lives aren't what they make it seem to everybody else, and when they're together, when they burn this bomb throughout the book, with the bond throughout the book, they start to act like more and more like the real them, and they all act like that towards each other. And that's a really, I love that. I love that about the book. Um, I'll do each character. So I'll do Brittany first. So Brittany she has a secret, and the secret's like really the cause of her family issues, I guess, sort of, if you want to be like say it like that. It's not the secret is not really a secret at all. You learn what it is in like the second page of this book, like literally the second page. You learn what the secret is, but you don't realize the secret for a little bit. Like the reason I call it a secret, or other reviewers or other people might call, or you might call it a secret, is because she doesn't want anybody to know about this secret that she has, about what like she doesn't tell anybody. Nobody really knows this secret except for her sister and her boyfriend. That's it. She's scared to let people in her house. She doesn't like people being at her, like knowing about her life, her business. That's why she works her ass off for the reputation she has, because she wants to be let off as this perfect person to everybody when she really isn't. And she's really a wholehearted, genuine, down-to-earth person, and she gives off this impression that she's kind of a bitch, and that she it thinks she, like, the impression that she's better than everybody else, and in reality it's not really how it is. She knows she has problems just like everybody else, and I don't think people in her school realize that she has problems just like them. Okay, so now Alex. Alex has a lot more on his plate problem-wise than Brittany does, and it's mostly because he's also in a gang. He's poor, he lives on the wrong side of the tracks. He has to, okay, so in his gang, well, it's not fake, well, in the book, it's a book, but his gang's called the Latino Bloods, and in his gang, he is the collector. So if somebody buys drugs and they don't pay when they're supposed to, he goes like roughens them up and collects the money and gives it to Hector, and that's his job pretty much in the gang. Hector wants him to be higher up. Hector wants him to sell drugs, but deep down, Alex knows if he sells drugs that he's stuck in the gang for life, and even though he's too stubborn to admit it, he doesn't want that for himself. He doesn't want to be in a gang for the rest of his life. Like, he wants to go to college, he wants to have a life, a future to worth living, in his words, worth living, and he doesn't realize the life he wants until he meets Brittany, and they, like I say, they bring out the best in each other, but their schools, their parents, their outside world tries to pull them apart. They don't want them together. They don't want them interacting at all. They don't want them to have anything to do with each other. And they say if they're together, the world will be unbalanced and whatnot. And it's not that way at all. And I really loved the book. It took me a day and a half to read this book, and to say it took me a day and a half is a pretty fast read for me. It usually doesn't take me that long to read. I read it during class when I wasn't supposed to. I read it at home. I read it on the bus. I read it like walking down the hallway. Like, this is me walking down the hallway like a nerd, but I don't care. It was that good. So now I'll read this back right here. It's kind of a, like, not a trailer. It's like a little sneak peek of a scene in the book, and it's actually a pretty funny scene. Like, it's them in chemistry class together, and they have to write a paper of introducing the other person about what the person did over the summer, and they have to introduce each other, so I'm just going to read it, and yeah. Miss Ellis, Miss Pearson says, it's your turn to introduce Alex to the class. This is Alejandro Fuentes. When he isn't hanging around on the street corners and harassing innocent people this summer, he toured inside of a jail cells around the city, if you know what I mean. And he has a secret desire nobody would ever guess. The room suddenly becomes quiet. Hell, even I'm listening like the words coming out of Brittany's lying, pink floss lips are gossip. His secret desire is to go to college and become a chemistry teacher, just like you, Miss Peterson. Brittany flashes me a smile and thinking she's won this round. Guess again, gringa. Gringa is a Mexican word. They speak a lot of Spanish in here, Spanish word. This is Brittany Ellis. I say, all eyes focused on me now. This summer, she went to the mall, bought new clothes so she can expand her wardrobe, spend more of her daddy's money on plastic surgery assets. Her secret desire is to date a Mexicano before she graduates. Game on. And that's like, yeah, it kind of makes you interested. Like, ooh, what happens next? It's a really good book. It's also, before I stop this video, it's a sad book, too. I cried. Pretty fucking hard. It's a sad book, but it's a happy. In the end, it's a really happy ending. It was a good book. I loved everything about it. I recommend you read it. I will do a review about the second book, Rules of Attraction, which is with Alex, or with Carlos. So, yeah. Come tune in whenever to watch my next video. Bye.